in the mall parking lot after Christmas shopping when the defendant backed into her vehicle. She's suing for damages to her car. She's accompanied in court today by her husband, Andre Hills. Defendant Henry Jackson says he owes nothing because the accident was not his fault since Ida was distracted by a cell phone call.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Hills versus Jackson.
Thank you, Honor. Ida Hills?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant Henry Jackson?
Yes.
For $2,300 for damages to your car you say he caused?
Yes, ma'am.
And your husband, Andre Hills, is your witness today?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we start with you, Ms. Hills? Tell me the date of this incident and what happened.
It was in December. We were at a mall. My husband Andre was playing Santa Claus at a mall. And so it was Christmas time. It was a lot of festivities going on. I was going out the exit because I had
parking lot?
the parking lot. I had to leave and go get more candy for the kids.
And what time of day was this?
This was during maybe noon.
So this was daylight?
It was daylight.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And so I was leaving out of the parking lot. There were people coming from both ways. So the parking lot was pretty full. Everybody trying to get their last minute Christmas gifts. So everybody was coming to one line and the defendant was in front of me. And all of a sudden the defendant was coming. I saw him backing up and I was like, bop, 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 bop. And then I was
blowing your horn.
Blowing my horn. And he obviously didn't hear
Jackson,
me.
you'll get your chance.
And then I blow my horn again, bam, 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 and I couldn't understand why he didn't hear me. Then all of a sudden, bam, truck hit me in the front.
So he backed
He was
into
in a
you?
big truck, yes, ma'am.
And was he coming out of a parking space or was
No, everybody was trying to get into one line going out of the park.
Okay.
He was in front of me. So if there was someone behind me, I couldn't back up because I saw him coming back. That's the reason I blew my horn twice. I saw him coming back, but I couldn't back up. So
Were you in the car with her?
No, ma'am.
You were not. So you didn't actually see the accident?
No.
Because you were inside with the kids?
Playing
I was
Santa.
inside with the kids being Santa.
Well, for all the kids watching today, perhaps, you were one of Santa's helpers that
I was
day?
absolutely one of
Because he can't
Santa's
be
helpers.
everywhere at one time.
I
So
was
you
definitely
were
a helper.
helping Santa. Okay, great. That's great. Okay, what do you say happened?
Well, like she said, the mall parking lot was jam-packed. It was mayhem in a big truck.
What kind of car? What kind of truck?
It's the Avalanche.
Okay, and you were
Chevy
driving what kind of car,
Avalanche.
ma'am?
200 Chrysler, limited edition. Yeah.
What year?
What year is it, Trey?
2013.
Okay, 2013. Okay.
Yes.
So what do you say happened during the mayhem in the parking lot?
All right, so I can't go any further. So I put my truck in reverse. My foot is still on the gas. And I have to look in the mirror behind me because my car sits up high. So I look around me, foot still on the gas, and I release my foot off the gas. I back up maybe 2 feet, boom. And I'm like, what the? I thought maybe I hit one of the yellow guard posts or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I jumps out real quick and I look and there was Miss Ida right there. And I'm like, are you okay? And I noticed she had a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
She said, yes, I'm okay. You kind of bagged into me. I said, well, when I looked in my rear view, you weren't there. And she said, well, I was honking my horn and trying to reverse. And I'm thinking like, hey, I understand you're a woman and okay.
What is that supposed to mean?
No pun intended. No pun intended.
No,
just hear me out.
I want to hear the rest of the
Just
statement.
hear me out. Okay,
I'm
listen.
interested.
My
She's a
point
woman,
is
so
you
what?
are not
She doesn't
an
know how to drive?
octopus. I'm saying she couldn't be doing multitasking like that. Meaning she has a cell phone right here.
But you backed into her, right?
Yeah, because she wasn't there when I was looking in my rear view.
Well, obviously she was there because you hit her car.
Okay.
No, I'm just,
She
help
was
me
not there,
understand.
Your Honor. She was not
So where did she
there.
come from?
That's what I would like to know.
Coming up, the situation with Santa's helper gets more serious.
And I approached him, and the first thing he said to me, he said, sir, it's my fault. I hit your car.
Oh.
I'll take care of it, but let me come clean to you. My insurance just overlaps.
Did you say that to him? It's your fault, sir?
He said that to me also.
Why the radio silence right now?
Plaintiff Ida Hills says Henry promised to pay, but then made excuses. She's suing for damages to her car. She's accompanied in court today by her husband, Andre Hills. Defendant Henry Jackson says he owes nothing because the accident wasn't his fault and he felt intimidated into paying.
So when you backed up, you say you looked in your rearview mirror.
Yeah, I bagged up 2 feet.
Okay.
2 feet. 1, 2.
I know what 2 feet is when you say that. It may be hard for you to understand that as a woman. I understand these things.
Okay, see, I see where we're going with this. I apologize, Judge. No pun intended with the woman thing. But when I bagged up, she was all of a sudden there. And when I got out and asked her, was she okay? She was fumbling with the phone and she said, I was trying to put my car in reverse and I was blowing the horn. I never heard a horn.
So what happened? You get out of the car. What's the conversation about who's responsible for this accident?
Well, when she got out of the vehicle and we began to talk, I had let her know that 3 days prior, my insurance had lapsed. So she called her husband, and he's on his way out. He's coming out with the
Why did
Santa
your insurance
suit.
lapse 3 days prior?
Because I lost my job.
3 days prior to this accident, you lost your job and your insurance?
No. No, I didn't. I was working 2 jobs. I lost my second job, and I didn't have the money to pay my insurance, pay my car note. I have 3 kids. I have a wife. I have a family. I mean, and without that second income, I didn't have the money to pay it.
So what
and this
happens?
is, keep in mind, this is around Christmas time.
Right.
This is 3-4 days before Christmas.
Right.
So when it came down to the insurance, in which I was going to pick it back up right after Christmas, when it came down to that, it was either pay your car note or pay the insurance. It made no sense to pay the insurance. You don't have a vehicle.
Well,
so I made an executive decision, and that's what I did.
But then you have an accident, right? Because
didn't
what
plan
happens
on
when
it.
you make the choice? Well, it's an accident. Of course, you didn't plan on it. But what happens when you make the choice to drive with no insurance, and then you have an accident? And let's say you have thousands of dollars in damages in your car. It's either you pay now or you pay later. That's the decision you were making. You either pay your insurance or you run the risk of having an accident and then having to spend thousands of dollars out of pocket because you've decided to drive illegally with no insurance. I mean, by your logic, you pay now or you pay later. Which one is it going to be? Now you're here because they're telling you you have to pay later, but you're going to pay. So you're there, you tell them not to call the police because you don't have insurance and you don't want to get in trouble.
Well,
right?
we spoke, and he came out in the Santa Claus suit, and we began.
You have a problem with Santa too?
No, well, a little bit, because, hell, I feel like I'm getting ripped off by Santa.
Tell me what happened, sir. You come out and what happened?
Thank you, Yana. I came out, as he said, in my Santa suit. And my immediate response to my wife when I received the phone call that someone had backed into the car is, call the police. So she said, just come outside and speak with the guy. I said, baby, call the police. She said a third time, hey, could you just come outside and speak to this guy? Then I started thinking, well, we're in the mall and there's a lot going on. Maybe she's having a problem. So let me get outside here right now and see what's going on. So I go outside. The first thing I see is Mr. Jackson and my wife standing there talking. And I approached him. And the first thing he said to me, he said, sir, it's my fault. I hit your car.
Oh.
I'll take care of it. But let me come clean to you. My insurance just overlaps.
Did you say that to him? It's your fault, sir?
He said that to me also.
Why the radio silence right now?
There's no radio silence.
Well, you're not talking.
What I did say was.
No, yes or no? Did you tell that? Did you say to him?
I'm trying to answer, Judge.
Yes or no? That's a yes.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
He said to me then, I'll take care of it. I promise I'll take care of it. And I told him right then, I knew right then that if I did not call the police and report this, that I would be a litigant. Because I watched the show, I know to call the police. But my wife was saying it's Christmas time, it was the season of giving, and I was thinking more about the same thing he just told you. I got kids, we was here getting gifts for my kids, I don't have insurance, my wife's telling me he may go to jail, so let's try to help him. So I thought, okay, I know this is wrong, but I'm going to try to help this man.
And not call the police and just work it out between the two of you.
Right. And
So what happened at the scene? How did you work it out?
I told him, I said, look, man, the first thing the problem's going to be is I'm going to get an estimate and you're not going to like it. Because when you hit these cars nowadays, you can put a scratch on it and they want $1,000. Exactly what I said to him. And I said, so, you know, I don't...
Did you come up with a number figure at the scene?
No, I didn't. Not exactly, because I didn't know the estimate what it would cost. But what I did tell him about the number was, it's going to be, you can estimate it's going to be $1,000. When you scratch your car, it's $1,000.
And what did he say in response to that?
He said, if it's $1,000 or less, I'll take care of it right away.
Is that what you said?
Not exactly, Your Honor. What was said was...
No. What did you say? Did you have a discussion about $1,000?
Yes, we did.
And what was your response to that?
I brought that up.
Did you say you would take care of it if it were $1,000 less?
I did say that part.
I mean, you're not acting like someone who is totally not at fault for an accident. You didn't see anyone behind you, and you backed up, and all of a sudden she's there on her phone.
Your Honor,
you're not acting like that at the scene.
I mean, can I get a chance?
You've had a chance. I let you tell your entire side of this, but then when they talk, they're telling me details that you omitted from your version of events.
Coming up on Judge Faith, evidence reveals new details about the holiday fender bender.
You hold up your driver's license, you state your full name for the record, and you say, I backed into her bumper. And then you say you're going to take care of it. And then you sign a document. You say, this is a promissory note, and I'm signing it.
I didn't know I needed to divulge that information.
Really?
Plaintiff Ida Hill says she did Henry a favor by not calling the police when she found out he didn't have insurance. She's suing for damages to her car. She's accompanied in court today by her husband, Andre Hills. Defendant Henry Jackson says he owes nothing because the accident was Ida's fault.
May I see the estimate for the car?
The $1,000 was inflated anyway from the jump start because it was a little small scratch. I didn't even have a scratch on my vehicle.
Well, we're not talking about the amount of damages at this point. We're talking about the fact that right then and there at the scene, you admitted fault for the accident, took responsibility,
well,
and said you would pay.
The only reason I did that was because I felt a little intimidated. You see
From
how
Santa?
big? Yes.
Really?
I mean, he's towering over me, and I'm like, okay, all right. So I just went along with it.
And how were you intimidated? What did he say that to intimidate you? Pay this or else?
Well, no.
I'll call the elves?
He was like, well, what are you going to do? And Santa does has elves. So, you know, I don't know.
So did he threaten you? Did he say?
Well, no, Your Honor, he didn't threaten me.
He didn't threaten you?
But
did he get in your face and point his finger in your face?
Not really.
You had a conversation, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't really feel threatened
I did
or
feel
coerced,
pressure for the
right?
simple fact they both were like in front of me, and like I said, he has a deep voice, and I was.
I'm sorry. This is kind of ridiculous. Can you show the video you submitted, ma'am?
I, Henry Jackson, backed into her bumper, and this is a promissory note to pay.
So not only did you admit fault on tape, you hold up your driver's license, you state your full name for the record, and you say, I backed into her bumper. And then you say you're going to take care of it. And then you sign a document. You say, this is a promissory note, and I'm signing it. I don't understand how you're here today. I don't understand how you're here today telling me
Your Honor,
this defense that you're stating.
I was paying him.
Did you forget that there was video?
No, I knew about all of that.
And you just omitted that part from your testimony today? Because I don't see anything about it in your statement, your answer to the court, and you didn't tell me about it when you testified today.
Well, I didn't know I needed to divulge that information.
Really?
That's their job to put that out there, not mine.
No, well, your job is to come in and tell the truth. We did swear him in, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we
when
did.
you omit salient facts, you're trying to hide something from me. That's what I think. And
I'm not trying to hide anything, Judge. And
Did you
I
pay him
did
anything?
pay him. Yes, I did.
How much?
Starting off, the first payment was $200.
Okay. Is that all?
Yes, because the next payment that was due, we had an ice storm in Atlanta. Okay, the city shuts down. They're not equipped with that. Now, this happened on a Friday evening. We were supposed to meet on Saturday morning.
Sir, what day was the ice storm on?
That was on a Friday.
What month?
January the...
Okay, so that was 5 months ago. There was an ice storm 5 months ago. And so from that day to this day, you haven't been able to pay him any money because of ice storm 5 months ago?
No, let me finish. He didn't want, after that ice storm, and we were supposed to meet that Saturday, and we didn't, I texted him on a Sunday and told him, here, I have X amount of money. He declined that and said, I will see you in court. I was trying to pay him.
Is that true? He was trying to pay you and you wouldn't accept his money?
Your Honor.
Somehow I have a hard time believing that.
And there's a reason for it, Your Honor. When it doesn't make sense, there's a reason for that. And that doesn't make sense because we had an agreement that he would pay $350. And I asked him, do not breach under any circumstances this agreement, because once you breach, then I'm going to sue.
And what happened? He couldn't come up with $350?
He came up with $200. That's the second breach. The first breach was
Hold on a second.
Excuse me, sir. The first breach was if it was $1,000 or less, I can pay you right up front. I had several estimates. Some was $1,400, $1,500, $1,300, but I took the lowest estimate. I got one for just about $1,000. I said, okay, since he said he can pay for $1,000, I'll let the guy do it for $1,000, which is less than what.
So what happens? Long story short, he didn't come up with the $1,000 like he said he would, and then you had an agreement that he would make payments in increments of $350. He was only coming up with partial payments, and you said, no, I don't want a partial payment. I'll have to take you to court.
Actually, I took the $200 the first time.
Okay, and the second time, what happened?
Second time, he didn't even show up to the meeting point. And I have to ride, instead of him coming to near where I live, I'm riding over to where he lives.
So you drove to meet him and he never showed up?
In that snowstorm he's talking about.
Deductible, I'm not going to award that. If you want the damages for your car, you get the damages for your car. If you want him to pay the $500 deductible, you get a $500 deductible, but you don't get both.
No, ma'am, I wasn't suing for the deductible. Yeah. What I was suing for, the $500, was the depreciation value of the car.
Okay, no. Here's what we're going to do. He owes you for the damage to your car based on the estimate you've provided. It's $1,338 worth of damages. You did pay $200. I will credit you for that. Judgment in this case for the plaintiffs, $1,138. Good luck.
Yeah, call the police next time, because you never know when people say I'm a church-going person, and that's kind of a red flag at some point, or I'm gonna pay you with the taxi. So, yeah, maybe call the police next time.
I think I didn't get a chance to prove my case. I believe Santa Claus and his little antics cheered her on and helped her out. So, I don't know. I feel railroaded in a sense.
Today on Judge Faith, an international romance
about taking a trip back to Jamaica, because I've been there before. And he said, oh, I wish you would. He said, if you come to Jamaica, then maybe, we can get together and you can become my wife.
The way she portrayed herself in Jamaica, I see her way up. And when I come here, she's way down. I've heard about so many after they get this man here, it's a total different thing.
Well, was it a total different thing or not?
As Sandra only married him for money and sex, he's countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Price versus Pullock.
Thank you, Juan. Sandra Price?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant Everett Pullock?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $5,000, you say he owes you for wedding expenses, related fees, and emotional distress?
Yes.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $5,000 for emotional distress?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll start with you, Ms. Price. Tell me what's going on here.
Okay, Everett Pullock is my husband.
He's your current husband?
He's my current husband.
And you're suing him for emotional distress?
2010. It was in 2010 is when we got married.
I take it it's a yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But it was during the number of years that we spent getting the paperwork and everything for him to come from Jamaica to the States.
When did you get married?
We got married in 2013.
When did you meet?
We didn't meet. We started talking on the phone in 2010.
How did you come to know of each other?
A mutual friend gave me Everett's telephone number.
Where were you living at the time?
I was in Dallas.
You were in Dallas, and you were in Jamaica.
I was in Jamaica.
Okay,
And Okay, he gave me the telephone number in case I couldn't get in touch with him because I was dating the mutual friend. So therefore, Everett and I were friends.
You were dating a mutual friend. And this mutual friend wanted you to meet him for what reason?
He wanted me to have his number in case I couldn't get in contact with the mutual friend.
Who was also in Jamaica?
Who's also in Jamaica.
Okay, now I understand.
Okay. And anyway, so we started talking. And Everett...
Well, so what happened? You called him looking for the friend?
I called him looking for the friend.
He said, well, he's not available, but I am.
No.
So when she called you, you knew that she was your friend's girlfriend?
She told me that. I didn't know. I didn't know she got my number. And after I get to know
But did
that...
you know that she was your friend's girlfriend? Yes or no?
After that, I got to know that. But she got my number to find another girl that when she's coming to Jamaica, she have a girl that I can talk to. I have a girl. That's how she got my number.
So she wanted to introduce you to someone else,
yes.
you say?
And
okay.
she did.
She did or did not?
She did.
Okay, she did introduce you to someone else.
Yes, but that person...
Nevertheless, the two of you started talking on the phone.
Yes.
So anyway, we started talking about 3 years.
So he pursued you for 3 years?
Yes, on the telephone. I had never seen him. He had seen me, but I hadn't seen him.
You didn't exchange any photos via
No, I
text?
did ask for a photo, but he had seen me on a photo, but I hadn't seen him. And so, and I just thought he was a nice person, you know, just a good conversationist, and I just enjoyed talking with him, you know. And I mean, it would be hours, and every day for 3 years, every day.
Wow.
And then he turned around. I told him, I said, well, I'm really thinking about taking a trip. And I said, and I'm thinking about maybe coming back to Jamaica because I've been there before. And he said, oh, I wish you would. And he had talked to his brother already on this too. He said, if you come to Jamaica, then maybe, you know, we can get together and you can become my wife. And I said, I'm from the old school. You have to ask me.
So did you eventually ask her to marry you?
Yes, I did. Because she said, if I don't ask her, she's not going to marry me. And I asked her because she got my picture. And when she got my picture to look at, she turned me to our friend. And I start talking to her friend. Her friend is no where I'm looking. I said, no.
You weren't attracted to her friend?
No. And then when I sent the picture to her, then after we start talking again, she said, oh my God, how could I take a picture like this looking at you? Hey, you just turned me on and how could I give someone else this picture? Huh?
Okay, so she got your photo and she decided that then she was interested.
You're right.
You eventually asked her, listen, I can't go through 7 years of your relationship. You eventually asked her to marry you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, did you get married in Jamaica?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me see the wedding photos you submitted. Beautiful. You look happy.
I paid for his entire wardrobe.
What is this, vacation or honeymoon?
That's the honeymoon part of it.
Where was this, also in Jamaica?
Still in Jamaica.
Okay.
I mean, I have unbelievable photos of family members and everybody.
Who paid for the wedding?
She paid for the wedding, Your Honor, because I didn't have that money. And
Okay,
she said
well now she's suing you to get that money back. That's why we're here, for emotional distress.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, if married couples could sue for emotional distress, I'm gonna tell you, I'd be here all day, every day.
Coming up, did the long-distance romance get cut short upon arrival?
It was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He started talking about other women.
Never, Your Honor.
You moved to Dallas and it was on and popping?
Plaintiff Sandra Price says Everett became a totally different person as soon as he arrived in the States. She's suing for wedding expenses, related fees, and emotional distress. Defendant Everett Pollock says he doesn't owe any money because Sandra wanted to pay for the wedding. He's countersuing for emotional distress.
I take it the two of you are not living together right now?
No, he left in...
I didn't left like that, Your Honor. She put me out.
No.
She put me out.
You have separated and you are estranged right now.
In April, he comes here on from Jamaica. I finally got all the paperwork. I did all the paperwork, no lawyers or anything. And I paid all the fees. He came on the 21st of April. On the 21st of April, he got off the plane. It was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He was awful.
Let's back up for a second. After you got married, he stayed in Jamaica and you left and went back to Dallas?
I came back to Dallas to do the
So
paperwork.
after you got married and had the honeymoon, you didn't see him for 2 years?
No, I went back. I went back in August.
So you saw him once?
I saw him once.
In the 2-year time period?
And then, because it's very expensive to go to Jamaica.
I understand, I just want clarity.
Yes, I went back.
You were working on getting his residency
That's
paperwork
right.
so he could move to Dallas.
That's right.
So you say then when he moves to Dallas, he gets off the plane, he was a completely different person.
He's a completely different person.
But you never really spent that much time with him in person, right?
Well, only
besides
the time,
the wedding and that one other trip to Jamaica.
And only the time on the phone.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you mean he was a completely different person?
Well, he acted very, it was like, I kind of thought he'd never been on a plane, he'd never been in the States, so maybe he was just getting used to this. This man came in full force, acting like he was in charge of everything, just, real ugly. And he started talking about other women. And we had never had that conversation. I'm going like, why are we talking about other women? And I said, we don't do that here. We don't talk about other women. We're trying to build this house.
What do you mean talking about other women to you?
Well, I have a girlfriend. He got this girlfriend or something, he says. So, I went along, I joked. I said, well, okay, my boyfriend this. I don't have a boyfriend. I still don't have one. But my point with him was that, why are you going to bring up another woman when I'm the reason you're here?
Did you get a girlfriend when you moved to Dallas?
Never, Your Honor.
You moved to Dallas and it was on and popping?
When I'm leaving Jamaica, coming here, she was like, how you not excited? But I was thinking, is this gonna work? I've seen so many, I've heard about so many. After they get this man here, it's a total different thing.
Well,
And
was it a total different thing or not?
yes, because she told me the way she portrayed herself in Jamaica, I see her way up. And when I come here, she's way down.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Okay, Your Honor, the first night I came, Your Honor, the garage is like only one car can hold in it. And it's a double garage. She got a lot of junk in there. And she didn't tell me that she's that hoarder. And when I get in that place, I have to squeeze sideways to get out the car. She's right here, she know that. When I get in the house, Your Honor, I look around. The bathroom was a total mess. The sink in the kitchen, if you hold this glass up here and drop it down there, it cannot break. It's muck inside here. It takes me 2 weeks to clean that house. That was nothing I was looking for from the person who portrayed as a teacher to be that such nice person.
Because it's hard when you're long distance, right? To really get to know someone and see how they live and what their mannerisms are. Because you've never been to her house. Let me see your evidence. What is this evidence of?
This is the video, is how she keep the place nasty. After I clean the place up in 2 weeks, in the bathroom she have like water in the tub for 2 days.
I see there's a lot of stuff on the counter. It looks a little cluttered, but the sink looks relatively clean. What's wrong with taking a bubble bath?
She leave it in there. She leave it in there. She leave it in there.
Exaggerating. That's not true.
That thing, I clean that.
Oh, these are your photos?
She eat in the bed. She leave everything in the bed and gone. I have to take it up. The day when she threw me out, she threw my clothes out and said, I have to leave.
How have you guys been separated and you have all these photos?
She take off her clothes, she just leave it by the ground. See, that's her underwear, she take it off and she just leave it in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
You and I, come back.
How? Why?
He's gonna tell me, no sex, no kissing, no hugging.
She's just nagging me for sex. Turn me off completely. I find myself like, I'm not having no erection.
Plaintiff Sandra Price says she was forced to end it with Everett because he cheated on her with another woman. She's suing for wedding expenses, related fees, and emotional distress. Defendant Everett Pollock says he doesn't owe any money because he didn't take any money from Sandra. He's countersuing for emotional distress.
Did he complain to you about how you were keeping the house?
No.
He never complained to you?
No, I had back spasms, and I explained to him that I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, you have lower back spasms. And I told him, I said, I'm doing the best I can do. I said, I can hire somebody to come in here and help me get this done. He did nothing.
Was he working?
Did nothing. He was working.
Okay, what were you doing?
I'm
When you
retired.
moved to Dallas, what were you doing
When
for
I
work?
come to Dallas, I start
have to
working
get a
on the
job.
22nd of May. I start working.
And what kind of work,
A
sir?
security guard.
Okay, security
when
guard.
you hear she said, Joanna, when I come here, I start like I want to get control of everything. She just said it. What she's talking about is like when I tell her, I spent 2 weeks, hard work, clean up this place. When the trash truck comes, the trash truck couldn't only stop at our gate because it is so much garbage I put out there. And when I tell her that I don't want the place to go back to where it was,
Okay.
that is why she's telling you that I'm coming like I want to take in charge.
Let me ask you something, because I could tell we could be here all day.
Okay.
After he got here to the States, in Dallas specifically, how long afterwards did you notice? You said he was a completely different person.
Yes, when he got off the plane. I'm not an ugly woman. This man is going to tell me no sex, no kissing, no hugging. That was the end of that, you know. He said, give me to December. But he was gone in July. He left in July.
Because she threw me out, Joanna.
All right. You want him to pay for the cost of the wedding. Did the two of you have a prenup? Did you sign anything?
No.
No.
Did you enter into a contract?
No, Your Honor.
About these wedding expenses?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, because you're still married. And if there's no
Not for long.
written contract, that's your decision. There's no contract as to who would be responsible for paying for wedding costs if the two of you were to get divorced. So this is one of those situations where you paying for the wedding was a gift to your marriage. And you can't get reimbursed for a gift to your marriage. What is your counterclaim about?
Your Honor.
Emotional distress. I've already heard about the house and the cleaning.
That time,
Is there anything else, sir?
Your Honor, that time when I talked to her about the place and how she keeping the place, and she's home every day. I go to work for at least 21 hours for the day, doing 2 jobs, sleeping 3 hours. She's just nagging me for sex. Your Honor, that place that I was in turned me off completely. I'd find myself like I'm not having no erection. And Your Honor, I told her I cannot have sex because I have no erection in this dirty place. Erection was like it's gone.
I heard you the first time.
Your Honor, what I have to do, she knows these pills. She knows these pills.
What is that?
I have to start take.
Mr. Pullock, put the bottle down, sir.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules.
I appreciate your candidness, but you do not have a claim for emotional distress against your spouse. The two of you just didn't know each other well enough.
No.
And when you moved in together, you had no idea what it would be like to live with the other person. It's very different when you're talking on the phone and it's long distance because your imagination takes over and you don't know the reality of what it's like to really be around this person day in and day out and live in the same household. And your dream really became reality when the two of you moved in together.
Don't you have to learn that? Don't you have to get together and try to learn that? This man came out of a
before
shack.
you get married.
He came
right?
out
You
of a
did
shack.
afterwards. And
Yeah.
that's the issue. When you buy a car, you don't test drive it
test
after
drive it
you buy
before.
it, right? You test drive it before. What I'm saying is you get to know each other in advance. He wasn't here very long at all, and he's out working 16-hour days. He's a hard worker. But now you're here in court, you're suing for emotional distress. I'm not awarding either one of you emotional distress for a failed marriage. It just didn't work out. This is when you dissolve the marriage and you go your separate ways. Mm-hmm. And he's not legally obligated to pay you for a wedding you chose to pay for. That was a gift to the marriage. Both of your cases are dismissed. I wish you two all the best.
Thank you.
In your divorce.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
I don't really have any much to say to him but bye. Goodbye and good riddance.
I have nothing to say much more than thanks for what you have done, but you're just still not the right person for me.
They were going to stop, and sure enough, it didn't.
No, Your Honor, that's not the way it happened.
If you would allow me to run these proceedings, I know you're sitting up here with me, you're still a witness, okay? I'm still running the courtroom. All right.
Says she doesn't owe any money because Hannah suddenly reversed into her car. She's countersuing for car damages.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Lee and Lee versus Pardon.
Thank you, Juan. Hannah and Michael Lee,
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
you were suing the defendant Nancy Pardon
Yes.
for $496 for car rental fees and pain and suffering you say you suffered as a result of a car accident.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $4,000 for car damages you say your car sustained as a result of this accident. So this took place on what date, Miss Lee?
July 2nd, 2015.
What happened?
I was just coming back from the movies. I was nannying a little boy, and we were about to get on the freeway on-ramp, stopped at a red light.
You were completely stopped at a red light?
Yes, I was
And
stopped.
were you in the car too, sir? You're her father?
I'm her father. I was not in the car.
Okay.
Just a little boy in the back seat. I was stopped at a red light. I was the only car there. And I saw in my rear view mirror a car approaching me fast. It didn't look like they were going to stop, and sure enough, it didn't. And it hit the back of me, pushing me into the intersection. But I was on the right-hand side, and it was a three-way intersection, so I felt safe to get out after I checked that the little boy was okay in the back. I hopped out of my car to go ask the car behind me to follow me to a parking lot that I knew was up ahead. And she said that she was on her GPS, and she was sorry. And I said, okay, can we just get out of the road? Can we go up to this parking lot?
Tell me what's going on. What happened?
I can't hear you. I'm totally deaf in this ear and almost totally deaf here, and I can't hear anything you're saying.
You can't hear anything I'm saying right now?
Coming up, the ladies take their fender bender dispute to the next level.
Nancy called me after I sent that letter to her and basically, kind of threatened me.
Nancy?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's trying to extort money from me. She's trying to extort money from my daughter.
Friends disagree about who should pay for their broken cell phone contract.
She should have said, well, it's going to be a fee if you come off the plan.
Is she your Sprint representative now?
It was already irritating that I have to keep reminding you to pay your bill. You're grown. I shouldn't have to tell you, hey, pay your bill. Hey, pay your bill. But I did.
Plaintiffs Michael and Hannah Lee say Nancy is at fault for the accident. They're suing for a rental car fee and pain and suffering. Defendant Nancy Pardon says she owes nothing because it was Hannah who caused the accident. She's countersuing for car damages.
So, Miss Pardon could not hear me, so we took a brief recess, and she's now seated next to me in the witness box. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. So we'll go ahead with the proceeding. So how was your car damaged? You have photos of the damages
Yeah,
to your
I do.
car? Let me see the photos, please.
So that's my car. As you can see, the trunk is not aligned. It's on the left-hand side of the car. That's her car. That's the front. She didn't take any pictures or anything. She didn't even get out of her car.
No, Your Honor, that's not the way it happened.
Okay, so you can hear everything now, right? Right? Okay.
That's not the way it happened.
Okay, so Miss Pardon, why don't you tell me your version of what happened? She said that you ran into her. She was completely stopped at a red light.
Well, she was a red light, all right, and so I pulled up at the red light too. So then she lets off her brake, and I think that she's going to move forward, but she don't move forward. She comes backward, on me and hits me. And so then I'm thinking we need to call the CHP. And so, but she says, no, we don't need to call them. And I said, yeah, we do. No, we don't. Let's pull over here in the parking lot. Where I'm from in Carolina, that's not how you do things. You automatically call the highway patrol.
So did you call them?
No, and she didn't either.
Well, why didn't you call them?
Well, because she didn't want to call them, but I did. And
Not
I
true.
should have went by my instinct and called them.
Not true, Your
I should
Honor.
have done it.
I did call the CHP, actually.
She said she did call the
She
police.
didn't call them. Nobody called them. They were not called. She said, let's move her over into the parking lot. I said, no, I don't want to do that. Well, we did move over.
So you say you called the police, and what happened?
I called them. I told them the situation, and they said, are there any injuries? And I said, no, because Nancy never told me she was injured.
And so they said since there are no injuries, they're
they
not
wouldn't
coming
come out. Yeah.
And Juan, having responded to these traffic accidents, are there occasions where the police will tell callers they are not going to respond to a traffic accident if there are no injuries?
Yeah, absolutely. We only take reports if there's injury, complaint of injury, or if it's a hit and run.
All right, so the police didn't respond. There's no police report. You're only suing for your rental car fee and pain and suffering $496. Did your insurance cover the damages?
Yes, they did.
And your deductible as well?
Yes, they did.
And I don't know why her dad's here, because he wasn't there. He had nothing to do with the accident.
Well, I was actually going to ask him. That was going to be my question to him, what he's a witness to, if you would allow me to run these proceedings. I know you're sitting up here with me, but just so you know, you're still a witness, okay? I'm still running the courtroom, all right? Okay.
Insurance was under my name. The car was under my insurance, so
He's been dealing a lot with...
I've been dealing with the insurance company, trying to recover the damages and trying to have them subjugate her insurance company, which she said she had. They had no luck getting any confirmation as her car being insured.
She had car insurance.
Yeah, they
None.
couldn't find it.
Okay.
My daughter has me on her insurance, and so I had to call my daughter to get the policy number.
Here's what the law is in California. If you hit someone from behind, it is a rebuttable presumption that you are at fault. A rebuttable presumption means then the burden turns to you. You have to prove, no, I'm not at fault. They, in fact, caused this accident. The only evidence you have here in court is your own testimony that for some reason the plaintiff put her car in reverse and reversed into you. There are no eyewitnesses to that. There are no statements to that at the scene. I'm not convinced that that actually happened. And she offers specific evidence about you being on your GPS. Were you looking at your GPS that day? Is she completely making that up?
I don't have the GPS.
Okay, I believe the plaintiff's testimony in this case.
And she wrote me letters she has written me letters trying to get me to give her $750.
Yes, I did send her that letter.
Okay, that's fine. But now we're in court and she's not suing you for $750. Who has evidence of a voicemail they want me to listen to before I wrap this case up?
I submitted a voicemail.
What is it about?
Nancy called me after I sent that letter to her and basically, kind of threatened me, saying if...
Nancy?
Yeah. Saying a bunch of crazy stuff that was untrue and basically...
Let me hear the voicemail.
I'm still on a walker because I have a broken back. It's all stemmed from that wreck. Now, if you want to play hardball, baby, we can do it.
Did you hear that, Nancy? That was you?
That was me.
Okay, so you're talking about her writing you letters. You're telling her if she wants to play hardball.
Yeah, because she's trying to extort money from me. She's trying to extort money from my daughter.
$396? That's all they're suing you for. Car rental. You're suing her for $4,000. Your back was broken in this accident?
I got a whiplash because the next day I had to go to the doctor. I couldn't even turn my head either way.
If that happened, I believe then that you probably had some pre-existing injuries that were probably aggravated, because looking at the damages on these cars, I don't think that the impact was so severe to break your back, okay? I don't find that she is the cause of this accident, so your counterclaim is dismissed.
I didn't ask her for anything at that time. I wasn't asking for a dime.
So then this lawsuit you're suing now is in retaliation because she sued you?
I asked for the money now because I need a car. They have 3 cars, I have none.
Okay, judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of their out-of-pocket expenses, which only amount to $396. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $396. Good luck to everyone.
Morgan knew the cell phone contract was being terminated and was cool with it.
Morgan Burson?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Melissa Barnes?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $686. The cost of an early termination fee, the balance on an iPhone 6, and additional fees?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, why don't you explain to me what's going on?
Okay, well, we were neighbors in our apartment complex. I lived above her, and we became friends, and our kids are in the same age group, so we got to know each other. And eventually we started talking about our phones, and she was telling me how she wanted an iPhone and how her phone had broke. And I was like, well, you know, I have an old iPhone, and I could possibly put you on my plan.
And why was she asking to be on your plan? She didn't have her own plan?
Well, she asked, and she was a friend, so I trusted her. And
you trust her to go out to dinner, but now we're talking about a responsibility for a bill, right?
True.
So what was the reason? Did she tell you a reason why she wanted to be on your account?
Just her, like, credit, if I'm not mistaken, because
credit issue.
Yeah.
Meaning she didn't have good credit?
I'm not sure as far as that
Meaning she doesn't pay her bills? Meaning red flag? Number 1, number 2?
Well, I honestly didn't think about it like that, Your Honor. So I was just trying to help a friend out.
So why were you asking to be on her plan?
I actually wanted an iPhone, and I tried to do it myself, but my credit was not good enough to do it myself.
Okay.
And I knew that Ms. Burson and her husband were already on the plan, and I asked her, was it possible that I be added to her plan?
Okay.
She explained to me, you know, how it worked, and I agreed, and it was done.
I love how you're calling her Miss Burson. Y'all have known each other for all these years. You're so formal today, but
yes,
I love it. Go ahead.
And she agreed to put me on the plan, saying that my bill could possibly be around $50.
How are you making monthly payments? To her or directly to the phone company?
I would call the phone company directly, and they would just take it off my debit card. But I would have to contact her to find out how much the bill was, because everything, like she said, was in her name.
It was still paid. In 2016, you were current.
Yes.
Okay. It may have been paid, but it did incur late fees. It was already irritating that I have to keep reminding you to pay your bill. You're grown. I shouldn't have to tell you, hey, pay your bill. Hey, pay your bill. But I did.
But it was still paid, no matter how many times she had to remind me.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the cell phone situation between the former friends goes from bad to worse.
Her boyfriend proceeded to come down the aisle. He was hostile. Well, I'm gonna take everything on this shelf and throw it at him to protect myself.
Plaintiff Morgan Burson says Melissa promised to cover the unpaid bills. She's suing for an early termination fee, an iPhone balance, and additional fees. Defendant Melissa Barnes says she owes nothing because Morgan allowed her to change plans.
2 years go by. You're sending her these reminders. What happens in 2016?
She asked how much the phone bill was, and I told her it was $70 plus tax and the late fee. And then she asked, how could she get another phone? I called Sprint not too long after we got off the phone to inquire about how I could, you know, like release her from her plan without incurring any fees. And they said, well, it's already been done.
So she terminated her contract early.
Yes.
And how much did that cost you?
It was a total of $642.
Let me see that. Let me see proof of that. Now, Ms. Barnes.
Yes.
Tell me what's going on. First, did you call and terminate your contract with Sprint?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Okay. So you know there's a cost associated with that?
Well, I wasn't sure about any of that because I was on her plan.
Okay.
I called Ms. Burson and I asked her for the account number and the PIN number. She asked me why.
Okay.
And I indicated to her I'm switching my phone.
And now we have proof that there are termination fees associated with that.
Yeah, but I also feel like she could have let me know that I could not come out of her plan when I indicated to her a week before that I was thinking about switching. She should have said, well, you know, it's going to be a fee if you come off the plan, because like
Is she your Sprint representative now? Because you called Sprint to terminate the plan, right?
I did, but
you had a conversation with Sprint, right?
All I asked for was the account number. They didn't. They asked me. All I asked for was.
Whose fault is that? You called them. You have a conversation with them, and you don't ask them a simple question. Hey, I'm terminating this plan. It's early. Are there any fees associated with it? You don't ask them that?
No, Your Honor.
Because you think that your friend who's allowed you to be on this plan for 2 years should do that homework and tell you? She doesn't work for Sprint?
She told me everything else about the phone, when the bill was due,
So you just defer all of that responsibility to her. You made the choice to terminate early. There are fees associated with that, and your only defense is your friend who decided to put you on her plan for 2 years didn't tell you, so somehow you're not responsible. It's your phone, it's your responsibility, even though you're on her plan. The agreement between the two of you was that you would be responsible for making your payments.
Yes,
you would be responsible for the charges associated with your account. And you say in your complaint, she knew I was terminating the contract, so I feel that I don't owe. Again, that's not relevant. Everyone in this room now knows that you were terminating your contract. So what? That somehow relieves you of your obligation and your responsibility?
Coming up, Judge Faith rules.
Kept going.
No, she did not, Your Honor. In Walmart, 'cause that's where I work, I was working, I was putting up some grocery, and her older son, they walked past the aisle, and he said, Mama, there go that girl. And I'm like, that girl? I wasn't that girl until all of this happened.
No.
And so I brushed it off, didn't think nothing of it. So she said, what girl? So they came back. It was her, her son, and her boyfriend. He proceeded to come down the aisle where I was, very hostile. And I looked, because in my head, I'm thinking either two things are going to happen. I'm going to scream and keep my job, or I'm going to take everything on this shelf and throw it at him to protect myself and lose my job.
What do you mean by he was very hostile?
The way he walked. He was hostile.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, I'm finna come check her. Like, I'm finna come at her.
And so what happened?
And she, Miss Barnes, said, oh, no, baby, we ain't gonna turn up on her in the Walmart. We ain't gonna turn up on her in the Walmart. Let's go.
That's not true.
Did she say anything to you?
She didn't say anything.
Okay, so nothing happened at the Walmart?
No, nothing other than her boyfriend approaching me.
Okay, all right. Based on the proof and the evidence that the plaintiff has submitted to the court, you owe for the early termination fee, which is $345. Instead of requiring you to return the iPhone, you have to pay the balance that was due on the iPhone on this account, and also the account fees that were associated with early termination. So that's a total judgment in the plaintiff's favor of $686. That's what you owe on the phone, ma'am. That's my judgment. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Or relationship, I can't take being lied on, and that's exactly what she did. So for that, she doesn't exist to me.